context. I was an au pair for 2 months in Australia, and I have made some experiences that shouldn't have happened. And I think in general, I have to be honest with you. I think that au pairs can be a great thing, but they can be disastrous for both the child and the au pair. Let me just say this. And of course there's been positive things, and I do not wish to attack the family that I stayed with, because each family has their flaws, okay? But I don't want you to think that au pair is this great thing where you go into a family and everything is perfect. No, far from it. And actually I've wanted to make this video for a long time, but I've hesitated because you know how when you're in a situation, it's like a toxic relationship, right? You're in this situation and you only know it like that. And plus, I was far away from home because I'm originally from Germany, Berlin, and I flew across the world. Literally, I was the furthest or away I could be from my friends and close ones. So actually, I think it is shocking how your perception of everything is distorted, or you will only realize how wrong certain things were once you're out of it, you know? And I mean, that was part of the experience. I accepted the conditions that the family had, and we made a contract, so everything was legal. It is not personal against them. I just want to share something, okay? So basically, the mom was a law student. She was studying law in her final semester, I think, and she had a lot to do. And the dad, he was working from home. He was, what was he again? I think he was an online teacher. So he was teaching and doing online classes. Okay, and I took care of 2 young children. And in the end, how it began is I was looking for a job that I wanted to find short term, because at the time I was at a hospital actually, and I got out of the hospital and then I wanted to do something fun with my time before medical school started. The problem was, usually you have to register or apply for an au pair year or experience half a year earlier, and I didn't have time, you know. I got out in May and I started the experience in July, so actually 2 months later, which is kind of insane. But that's how it was, and I got accepted by this family, and at first they seemed really sweet. The mom, that we're gonna call Hannah, was really welcoming. Well, I'm kind of interested in law as well, so we resonated a lot, and she picked me because I said I want to study medicine, and actually her sister was studying medicine. Anyway, so basically there were a lot of personal, she took a liking in me. And then we called and everything seemed really good. But the thing was, I didn't have experience, so I was really glad that this family accepted me. And also, it wasn't an organization. It was, you made a contract with them, and then they registered you somewhere, and basically it was kind of unofficial, you know? And that was great for me. I mean, I love children, they needed an au pair, they wanted me, they liked Germans because they said, oh, Germans, they're very hardworking, and I'm like, dude, I mean, I am, but I don't know about Germans. Anyway, not the topic. So I arrive, and basically the first thing that is off is I basically, it takes me over a day to actually get to their house, you know? I have to take one plane from Berlin to Qatar, then I have to take another plane from Qatar to this city in Australia. I'm keeping things anonymous, and I'm also adding some little details or changing some little details so that they cannot be identified, because it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't. And so I arrive in this city, and then I have to take multiple trains and multiple buses, because their town or their smaller town was 2 hours away from this larger city. Let's say it was Canberra, okay? So 2 hours away from Canberra, right? So I have to take public transit, which is fine, which is totally fine. I mean, that was fine. And then I basically sent a message to the mom and basically told Hannah, okay, I'm arriving at 10 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. it was Australian time, and so she said, yes, I'm gonna pick you up from the bus stop. And so imagine this, I take one train, I take another train, I need to figure out the bus transportation, public transit thing. You know, it is this whole thing where you tap on with your credit card, tap off. It is confusing as hell. It was confusing for me. I had been on the plane for over 24 hours. I didn't get a lot of sleep, and it was just this whole thing. I'm grateful for the experience, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, just to set the scene. Okay, and then I arrive at this one random bus station after traveling for 2 hours with my giant suitcase and my giant backpack. And there's even tags from the airport still on, probably saying something about Germany. And Australians are like, Germany? Because obviously there's a lot of locals on the bus. And then I get off at this random bus stop, and mind you, I have no idea where I actually am. And I am there, and I look around, and there's nobody there. Nobody. It is all quiet, it is all dark, because, well, in Germany it was summer, but in Australia it was winter, so it was all very dark. Dark times. No, but seriously. So I get there, and then I see nobody, and I think, oh my god, where is Hannah? Where is she? What is happening? What is going on? And I stand there with my suitcase, and I walk in one direction and think, oh, maybe she's in a car somewhere, or where is she? Is she late? But I told her when the bus was coming, and then these two people come out of the bus, and they had already walked off in another direction, and then they turn around and ask me, are you okay? Because I'm standing there with my giant suitcase looking utterly lost, have apparently nowhere to go, and I say, oh, I'm just waiting for somebody to pick me up. And at that moment, or not at that moment, maybe 5 minutes later, when I walked over to a car park, literally, and I see this one car, and a woman jumps out of it, Hannah, and she says, oh, I was just revising some law school exam questions. So, are you okay? Are you okay, genuinely? You are waiting for your au pair to arrive. That's gonna stay with you for 2 months, and you don't bother to get out of the car because you're that busy. So that was the family I was in, and it didn't bother me. I just thought it was normal. I just thought I had to adapt to the situation, okay? And so, first of all, Hannah was very sweet to me, very overly sweet. She told me things about law school, personal things, asked me questions. It was mostly good vibes. But, okay, one important thing that I'm gonna add into this video as well, I think there's gonna be part 2 of this, otherwise it's gonna be too long. So, actually, the children, right? It was sometimes very, very, very sketchy, you know, because there was at one point somebody that was apparently, I don't know, living there, but they didn't really have their visa wasn't, well, let's just put it like this. The family didn't verify the visa, they didn't verify who we are, which I would do as a parent, because if I'm leaving my 7-month-old baby girl alone with a random stranger from Germany or from, I don't know, Sri Lanka, from France, from Italy, something like that, I would do 1,000 background checks. I would at least ask them for their ID. No such things. I could have been anyone. I could have been anyone taking care of their baby. They left me alone with their baby. And I think that was a big red flag, because, and then they were picky about certain things. For instance, so one time I wanted to go with the other au pair, because there were 2 au pairs at the same time. We wanted to go to a shopping mall, and we wanted to go there by bus. And then the dad, he was very scared about some things, but not scared at all about other things, like their child being with complete strangers who could do anything to the kids and then disappear without a trace. No, but seriously, living with complete strangers. And sometimes even only for a small amount of time. This one girl, she only stayed for 3 weeks. And do you think that that's good for a 7-month-old baby and a 3-year-old boy to just pretend, oh, this is the new girl, she's living with us, fun, play with her, come on, I'm not there anymore, but play with her. No, that's gonna cause extreme trust issues. Dude, this is not news, this is not groundbreaking, okay? So, And anyway, they didn't do background checks at all, but then the dad was particular about, oh, but don't go on the bus with this young girl. So the young girl was named Phoebe, and she was 7 years old, and the dad said, oh, don't go on the bus with Phoebe in the pram, because no, that's dangerous. I'm scared that something will happen. And I think, dude, what would happen? And also, you leave me alone with the baby. You leave me alone. I could do anything to the baby. I could be anybody. A criminal. Somebody who doesn't care. And, okay, so one more situation that was really sketchy. So basically, when the new girls or new people arrived, basically, the parents pretended as though it was the most normal thing. So the parents, Hannah, didn't have a lot of time. So on the day that I left, the new girl was already arriving. I felt really replaced, but that's not the point. The point is that for the children, it is very stressful if a new girl is constantly, if the people she's living with, the people that she's supposed to be the closest with, are constantly changing. That is detrimental. Really. It is not good. You know? So imagine this. Basically, Phoebe and her older brother, the 3-year-old, let's call him Caleb. So basically, Caleb, he loved jumping on the trampoline. And so on the last day, there was this new girl that arrived from Japan. And she was going to take over my position. And then Hannah told Caleb, oh, Caleb, there's this new girl. She just arrived. She really wants to go on the trampoline with you. Dude, mind you, the girl just arrived. Maybe she was tired? No. But okay. So anyway, they're going on the trampoline. And the mom is there with Caleb for maybe 10 minutes. Or 15 minutes maximum. And then Caleb is left alone with this girl. And Hannah goes off to uni or whatever. That is not the vibe. That is really not the vibe. And Caleb was very shy. At the beginning, he didn't talk to me at all. And he had difficult manners. One time, he peed on the floor in protest. He didn't eat a lot. I think that was his way of protesting. And I just, no. And it was just sad to see how little time the parents actually had for Phoebe. Because I was asked, hey, Leah, can you read Phoebe this book? It's only basically 10 pages long, and each page has exactly one word. But can you read it for her? Because I don't really have time. Dude, I know that that's the purpose of Aupair. But if you have a system where every day there is one girl for 12 whole hours with Phoebe, and sometimes Caleb, for 12 hours, that can't be good. Genuinely, 12 hours. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And that's 6 days a week. 6 days. This is not normal, guys. This is really not normal. I have more crazy stories, and I'm gonna tell them to you eventually, but let's just not forget that I overall had a great experience. The children were really sweet. I think I felt bad for them, but I was very lucky to have given this opportunity. And also, I met a lot of people on my travels, so that was amazing. And nothing against the family, as I said. They might be amazing people, but every family has their flaws, and I think that the system that they basically established had so many flaws, and it is detrimental for the children. Just tell me your opinion in the comments. And I think that's that, and I haven't done my eyebrows yet. Do you think that they look bad? I think they look like eyebrows, but I like them better when they're thicker. Like, dude, that has really thick eyebrows. Where was that?